Well, if your teen is having trouble in a love relationship or is even worse, is being abused, mark your calendar for December 10th. A local sorority is holding a forum focusing on the issue and solutions. Denise Douglas sat down with one of the organizers for the details.
Talking today about relationships. We all like to have them, but they're not always easy, right? Especially in those teen years.
That's
We're
right.
talking with Dr. Trisha Bent Goodley about that because you're having an event coming up in December focusing on teens and healthy relationships.
That's right.
And specifically dating scenarios, violence, and so forth, how to prevent those sorts
That's
of challenges.
exactly right. On December 10th, Upsilon Tau Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority is sponsoring a free event to the public to talk about teen dating violence and how to keep young people safe in their relationships.
How much of a big problem, because those should be the fun years, how much of a big problem is dating violence in a teen relationship?
Well, actually, we know that 1 out of 5 young people in high school experience some form of physical or sexual violence in their relationships. And so you would think that this would be a really great time for a young person. And while it can be, there are some dangers that we want to alert young people to so they know how to avoid these relationships. They can learn the signs and find out what to do if they or a friend might be experiencing it.
Right. What are some of the signs of the violence that you're talking about?
Well, you may see changes in behavior. So it may be a student who was once an A student, their grades may decline. We also often see that that child might become very isolated. So at one time they maybe would hang out with their friends, and now all of a sudden they're no longer with the friends that they used to be with. They become more isolated, possibly more withdrawn. And we see lots of controlling behaviors where we might have the perpetrator of abuse really telling that young person how to dress, what to wear, where to be. They might text them all the time. So those are things that we as parents can look for, but that you can look for in your friends. And when you see it, you can tell them, you know, maybe there's more to this than meets the eye.
And what age group are we talking about here? And is it that the perpetrator at this young age has also seen some sort of violence in a relationship, or what causes that person to bring it into such a tender young relationship?
Well, it could have been that the child was exposed to violence in their home. They could have witnessed it. They could have seen it among peers and thought that maybe it was something that was appropriate. And we really want to stress to young people that it's not appropriate. One of the things that we know is that for many teens, and by teens we're talking about young people over the age of 14, but we are certainly seeing it happen more so or increasingly between 11 and 14-year-olds.
Wow.
So this is a really serious issue, even right outside of elementary school, for us to really begin to address quite early. We know that 80% of young people, they don't tell their parents, they don't tell adults. They talk to other children, they talk to their friends. So it's really important for us to educate young people so they can help each other, and then educate parents so that they can learn to ask the right questions and know what to look for.
Okay, and so the actual event is going to be at the YMCA at the Potomac Overlook on December 10th from 12 to 2. Talking about solutions there?
Absolutely. Talking about solutions, talking about what to look for, and really talking to our young people about what is a healthy relationship. We want them to understand what they should expect and what is absolutely not to be tolerated.
Okay, and Dr. Bent Goodley also has a book. I wanted to just mention that really quickly because you are a professor of social work at Howard University.
That's right.
Absolutely. So in addition to coming out to the event on the 10th, people can also pick up your book, which focuses partially, at least a portion of it, on this issue of young people and domestic violence.
That's absolutely right. There's a place in the book that I talk specifically about teen dating violence, and then also talk about the violence that adults experience at home. Because as you kind of mentioned, young people, if they see it in their homes, you know, it's something that they begin to think might be appropriate. And so we really want to address it among the teens and also let the parents know that if that's something they're experiencing, it's important that they get help too.
Okay, and the book available on?
You can actually purchase it on Amazon.com or through NASW Press.
There you go. Okay, and of course they're hoping to see you out December 10th, YMCA Potomac Overlook in Fort Washington, 12 to 2. Back to you in the studio.
And for more information, you can send an email to programs upsilon tau omega@gmail.com.